The Fast Forward series is based on the principles of effective reading research and neuroscience. Scientists have shown that reading is not a natural act for the brain, but it is a system that the brain must master. We now have strong evidence that the areas of the brain that are activated during reading of students who are having difficulty are quite different from the brains of those children who do not experience such difficulty. More importantly, scientists have shown that the brain can change and rewire at any age by stimulating the underactive parts of the brain with exercises. Fast Forward is unlike other computer-assisted reading intervention programs in a number of ways. First, for the brain to build and strengthen the pathways needed to learn a new skill, the student must be repeatedly exposed with concentrated practice to the material being studied. Fast Forward provides 7 times more practice trials than other computer-based reading intervention programs. Concentrated practice and many learning trials are required to learn any new skill, including reading. Second, we know that keeping students engaged in any learning activity requires that they are continuously challenged but not frustrated. Neuroscience tells us that the brain is kept engaged during learning when a person is able to be accurate 80% of the time and challenged the remaining 20% of the time. The Fast Forward products keep track of a student's answers and adjust the content so that the student is accurate, on average, 80% of the time. Not too easy and not too hard. These numerous levels of adaptivity provide differentiated instruction for each student that is done automatically based on student responses. Third, behaviors like comprehending what you read is a complex task with many systems having to work together. The Fast Forward products include exercises that work on isolated reading and language skills, as well as other exercises that combine these skills to strengthen more complex behaviors like comprehension. Finally, all Fast Forward programs have a multi-layered reward system to keep students motivated, to keep them interested in the content, and to maintain a high level of participation while working on program exercises. What we know about the brain today tells us that there are 4 cognitive skills that are critical to success in learning to read and to learning in general. Let's look at these skills in a little more detail. The first skill is memory. Fast Forward is designed to build capacity and improve the efficiency of the working memory system. For example, the reading series moves from simple listening comprehension to word recognition to comprehension of complex sentences and passages. Each step in the process builds the student's memory and their capability to store critical information. Attention. Research shows that struggling students may be able to pay attention for 10 to 12 minutes at the very most. You cannot build memory if you cannot attend. Every exercise in the reading series requires selective and focused attention in order to perform well and advance in the exercise. Processing rate. Strengthening this skill increases the amount of detail a student can process at one time, as well as the rate at which information can be organized and worked with. If students have trouble attending to the task at hand, then they will not be able to increase their processing rate nor build memory. Finally, sequencing. There is a sequence to everything in our lives, including reading. Phonemes sequence into syllables, syllables sequence into words, words sequence into sentences, and so on. And we expect our students to be able to derive meaning at every sequential level if they are to succeed. Our products systematically present reading tasks in a sequential order. In doing so, they build the processes that support fast and accurate sequencing skills. These cognitive skills of memory, attention, processing, and sequencing must work together to orchestrate the vital brain activities that are required to be a good reader. Another way to say this is to think of the cognitive skills as the supporting pillars for all 5 critical components of reading. Phonemic awareness instruction helps students notice, think about, and manipulate the individual sounds or phonemes in words. These sounds work together to make words. Exercises in Fast Forward build these skills by
Mad.
presenting exercises
Gift.
focusing first on onsets and rhymes with consonant
Well
vowel
done.
patterns, and then progressing to
Mad.
words with up to 6 phonemes.
Map.
Students are also supported in making the connection between sounds and print when they participate in exercises that match letters to sounds and select letters to complete the spelling of an orally presented word.
Damn. Sa. Sap. Da. Damn. Da. Dad.
Phonics instruction focuses on the relationship between letters and the sounds they represent, the alphabetic principle. Fast Forward programs follow the standard protocol for phonics instruction. Letter sounds are taught first, followed by digraphs, blends, and word families. High utility sounds in CVC words are introduced before low utility sounds. Single-syllable words precede exercises offering more complex, multisyllabic words.
Still. Still.
Fluent reading is reading that is demonstrated with speed, accuracy, and proper expression. Fluency rounds are available for both letter and word identification to build automaticity in decoding and word recognition. Modeling and rereading sentences and short passages help students become more fluent readers, as well as exposing them to a broader range of vocabulary.
A noun is a like girl, cat, food, job, or story. Word.
Vocabulary instruction helps students learn the meanings of words in the language. Vocabulary has a direct bearing on one's ability to comprehend what you are reading. Fast Forward programs emphasize reading and writing vocabulary and use both narrative and expository passages to expose students to a diverse vocabulary. Dictionary skills are also strengthened with Fast Forward exercises. Comprehension instruction helps students understand what they are reading. The early Fast Forward to Reading programs emphasize the questioning strategy. The more advanced programs cover summarizing skills, graphic and semantic organizers, and questioning. Comprehension exercises in the earlier programs use sentences.
Took a jog in
The later
fog.
programs use short
I
paragraphs
can't
and
see a
passages.
thing, said the hog to the frog. Where did the animals go for a jog? In the fog.
A variety of exercises are presented in Fast Forward that help students break a concept into its similar and dissimilar characteristics. For example, in one of the earlier reading programs, students must categorize words based on similarity of concept. In a later program, students are presented with incomplete analogies, where they must supply the missing word or words. Students are also presented with a number of exercises that require summarization. In one situation, they must select the correct paraphrase of a short paragraph. Or, in another situation, they must create graphic or semantic organizers to represent a selection they have read. Reinforcing effort and providing recognition is an essential feature of all Fast Forward programs. Points are awarded to students as they work through each exercise, and a daily report of their progress is provided to them at the close of each instructional session. Practice is the key to progress in these computer-based products. Students work toward an accuracy rate of 80 to 90% through multiple trials that increase both fluency and accuracy. Both linguistic and non-linguistic representations are used in Fast Forward programs. Images are used to assist students in learning to identify words and to learn their meaning. Images are also provided to help students understand sentences and passages. With Fast Forward, teachers review the assigned exercises with each student to be sure they understand the purpose of the activity and the goal that is set for them to achieve success.
Nice.
Feedback on a regular basis, using the Progress Tracker system, helps students stay motivated and constantly aware of their progress toward the goals that have been put in place for them. Fast Forward programs have many high-quality instructional design features. For example, the goals and objectives, scope and sequence are outlined in the teacher manuals, along with suggested pacing charts for each program. Tasks increase in difficulty within each exercise as well as across programs. For example, activities may begin with both auditory and visual cues. Then these cues fade out as students are able to meet the performance standard. There is a systematic order of instruction within and between each program. For example, a program in Fast Forward to Reading 1 has students sort words by beginning consonant sound. Then they must sort words by the ending consonant sound. And finally, they sort words by the medial vowel sound. Initial consonants are presented to students based on their frequency, with the most frequent consonants presented for learning before the less frequent ones are given. There are many resources accompanying the Fast Forward programs to assist districts and schools in accurate implementation. The Progress Tracker is a data management system that records the responses of students and provides timely reports to teachers that in turn can be used in conferencing with students and parents. These reports give guidance on student progress and the need they might have for additional support to the Fast Forward program. This ongoing assessment system allows teachers to have progress charts on all students without having to take valuable instructional time for individual testing. The Progress Tracker gives teachers an important tool for determining if a student is responding sufficiently to Fast Forward as the intervention of choice. The student's response to intervention, or RTI, is documented continually through the Tracker's strategic use of the data that documents student performance. Both of these features are an integral part of the Fast Forward programs. Professional development training and a technical assistance team are readily available to schools and the district to maximize the benefits of Fast Forward with struggling readers.